Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Hydro, and today I'm going to be doing a dual purpose review. So both these products are going to be from V2. They're both new-ish products, and one of them I was going to review about a week ago, but then I decided to order this right here, which is the V2 eSigs EX battery. So I decided to buy this, and previously I had purchased these. These are the EX cartomizers, and I'll kind of go more into depth with why I didn't review these before purchasing this. But for now, we'll just go ahead and look at all this here up close before we actually get into vapor production and all that good stuff. So this is the box that it comes in. On the back, it just has a little bit of information that it comes with one V2 EX battery. It's a 4.2 volt and 280 mAh. I bought the carbon fiber pattern. I really thought that was the coolest looking one. I'm not really a big fan of the other patterns they have, to be honest. It's got a cartridge sleeve and 3 replacement rubber rings. So let's go ahead and open this up. Now, as you'll notice, this isn't what I would consider a kit, so it doesn't come with a charger. So just know if you're going to be purchasing this, you need a V2 charger already, or you'll have to purchase that separately. So here is the battery. So pretty good length, I think. Not too short, not too long. So let's see if we can close up on that one. Sorry, I'm at a really bad angle, so hopefully this is coming through. So the carbon fiber looks really good. The battery does feel very good quality. It's got a little bit of weight to it, but not too much weight. It feels light, but it feels like if you dropped it, it would be okay. No ash tip or LED light right here. There's actually, right here, there's 5 little lights. That's your battery indicators. So all in all, I think this is very sort of incognito, but very stylish looking, and you know, just really something really cool, a little bit different. Now, what really makes this different is this sleeve right here. So this actually goes over, once you have the cartomizer on, it goes over that to sort of complete the look. So that would be more or less what it would look like all put together. So, you know, overall I think it looks really good. And these extra rubber rings are for this right here, right around here. So that sort of holds the sleeve in place. This is definitely something you want to keep, you know, so don't throw that away. Alright, so these are the EX cartridges. And I've already been using some. I'm actually, for the review, going to pop open a fresh one just to kind of really give you an idea. But this is how they come packaged. Pretty standard. So we'll go ahead and take one of these out. I chose the Sahara in 1.8 nicotine. And so what makes these kind of cool is that it's like a mini tank system. So you can see the e-liquid right in here, so there's no filler material, which is really interesting. So what they've tried to do is just make it like a mini tank system, but in cartridge form. So when I actually start vaping on this, I'll actually kind of go into detail about performance and things like that. But you know, I mean, it looks stylish. It looks really cool, and it performs okay. So no spoilers, but I will say that it doesn't perform as well as you might be thinking right now. That, oh, it's a mini tank system in cartridge form. That's really cool. That's going to be really good. It's all right. So anyway, this is the way it's going to look if you put it on there, and then with the sleeve on, you're all set. One interesting thing, and I will see if this can actually capture it, is you have these airflow holes on the side of the sleeve right here. And what I have been trying to do, and it doesn't work so much with these, because these for some reason might be a little bit longer, but on regular cartridges you can actually line it up with the air holes that are cut into notches at the bottom of the cartridges, and that actually makes it perform a lot better. I actually have been messing around with it and just kind of turning it so it's covering only half the hole, and it's, to a degree, it's almost like airflow adjustment, you know? So it almost gives you the adjustable airflow. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, so we'll go back into normal view, and then let's take a few hits off it and see how all of this actually performs together. Alright guys, so now that we've seen it kind of up close and personal, let's see how the whole thing vapes together and then kind of discuss it a little bit more. Alright, so let's check it out. So, as you can see, the LED's lit up, so indicating that it's basically a fully charged battery. I like the fact that it's just so discreet and you don't have that really bright tip on there, although you do kind of have to turn around just so you can see it, but it is a nice feature on it so you can kind of see where your battery's at just at a quick glance, and you're not just vaping and then all of a sudden it's completely dead. So it does kind of give you that little bit of warning, which I do like. I think that that is a nice thing to actually implement in one of these. So as you can see, the vapor production on this isn't stellar. And for that matter, really, I should say that this Sahara, I tried it because I thought it sounded like an interesting flavor, but honestly it just, to me, tastes like stale tobacco. I've come to the conclusion that I don't really care for V2's flavors. I think their cartridges usually work pretty good, but their flavors, I've yet to find one that I actually like. So, in a mini tank system like this, I really expected there to be a lot more vapor. Even other reviews that I saw, it just seemed like there were just clouds of vapor, and I thought that finally somebody had cracked that code of cartridge style big vapor. And for me, in my experience, this is not it. This is definitely not it. Now, the reason why I didn't review this by itself, because you can use it on other batteries. It's advertised that way, that you can even use this on the V2 Classic, is that this gets incredibly hot. And I would never, ever, ever recommend that somebody use this on anything other than this device, because it gets so hot. And I take really long drags, and the longer you go, the hotter it gets. I mean, honestly, it's gotten to the point where I thought it was going to completely burn my lip. Where, you know how when you burn your lip just a little bit, maybe on some hot cheese from a pizza or something like that, and you can just sort of taste it all day, you know? It was like that for 2 days, just from vaping one of these. And I know that somebody else reviewing these just made an off comment like, oh, it gets kind of hot, maybe they'll fix that. To me, that's a huge problem. And I really think that that is a large reason why you get this with it, because I feel like this protects your mouth from that heat. So instead of fixing the actual cartridge, and to make sure that that never happens, they just threw a sleeve on here just to kind of protect you. Which, maybe that's not the reason why they did this. Maybe it's just so it completes the look and all that kind of stuff. But really, I feel like since they're both EX products in this line, this new line that they have, I kind of feel like that might have been the reason. So I find it really interesting and kind of hard to believe that through all this testing that I'm sure that they've done with their product, nobody said, hey, this could be a huge problem for people. So just know that going into it, that this thing gets really, really hot. So, but you can vape it without this, so we'll check that out. Yeah, see, bottom lip started to get really hot on there. So, other reviewers that I saw, and there's really not a whole lot of reviews for this out there as much, but had said that I guess earlier versions of this product you couldn't vape it without this thing on, which is really unfortunate. But apparently they've actually fixed that problem. So this whole device, or this battery and the cover, is $29.99. So hard to kind of say if it's worth it. I really like V2 batteries, and the V2 Classic that I had, I used all the time whenever I was out and about or something like that. Didn't use it so much at home, but if I was in my car or something like that, that was my go-to e-cig battery. And I think that they make really good products. I really like the fact that it's really long cutoff. I think that it is more powerful than the Classic as far as that goes. So 4.2 volts doesn't really sound like a whole lot, as I mentioned in my MIG-SIGs review as well, but I feel like you can definitely tell the difference if you were to use a V2 Classic versus this. You can definitely sense there's more power. So, and since it's a longer battery, it's going to last you a lot longer. Now, it does work with other cartridges and things like that too, so we'll pop on a Halo low resistance cartridge on here, which are one of my favorites as far as cartridges go, and check that out. Nice long cutoff, and the V2 low resistance cartridges work really, really, really well. As you can see, that produced a ton of vapor, and the e-juice that I'm using, I don't even think is a 50-50 blend. At best, it'll be a 50-50 blend, but I think it's actually more PG than VG, so still getting a lot of vapor and a lot of flavor from a thinner e-juice. So yeah, that works really well. So I almost think that that's probably my favorite combination, is the Halo low resistance cartridges with this particular device. But we can also throw on here a MIG-SIGs tank and see how that works. Yeah, again, works incredibly well. You know, really packs a punch. Definitely getting a really good throat hit and all that from this combination as well. So really, really good combo. Now, obviously, the sleeve isn't going to fit over any of the tanks, so, but that's totally okay with me. And it's an automatic too, so I think that you're getting a lot of power here, or a reasonable amount of power for an e-cig in an automatic battery. So I almost feel like this has been performing better than the MIG-SIGs ones that I got that are a manual battery. So take that for what you will. But you know, overall, I really like the style of it. I think it's really nice looking. It's something I definitely want to take with me, and I like the carbon fiber design. I think that's something a little bit different. I was just really disappointed in these mini tanks. I just really wanted them to be great, and they were extremely disappointing. So those ones are $15, $14.95 for a 5-pack, which I don't think is a bad price. That's the thing. I don't think that is overcharging by any stretch. I just think that they just don't perform any better than their regular cartridges to warrant paying $5 more. You know what I mean? It's, if they were the same price, then I would think, okay, well, they're probably just gonna phase out the other cartridges and just make them all this one, because it's the same price. But since they're more, I really hope that they're not phasing out their regular standard cartridges in favor of these ones that are actually more money, especially due to the fact that they have this overheating problem. I don't think the vapor is even as good as their other cartridges, and personally I just don't care for the flavors, so that it is what it is. But with something like this, I think that, yeah, $30 is pretty steep, I think, for any battery like this. Now, V2 says they have a lifetime warranty and things like that on their devices, which is great, so you're paying a little bit more for that. But yeah, $30 is kind of a hard pill to swallow. For me, the curiosity just sort of overtook me of, will this work better? These tanks I've already purchased, or these cartridges rather, will it work better with this device? And I was so curious that I just had to try it. That, alongside the fact that my V2 Classic battery did go dead, and I really wanted another V2 battery, so I kind of thought, well, spend the extra, what's the difference? I think maybe like $8 or something like that, and get this one. So for me, it wasn't so bad. Now for you, the viewer, somebody who might be thinking, I want to get an e-cig for the first time, or I just want something better than I have. Is this for you? And I think it's pretty solid. I think this is a good device, and it's sturdy. I think it'll last for a fair amount of time as far as battery life goes. It's really, like, as I've said numerous times, really kind of incognito and all of that. And I think you're getting good value for your $30. Of course, you could spend much less money and get something good, obviously. But V2 is a popular brand, and it's sort of the Nike of vaping, so that's kind of what you're paying for. You're paying for that name, but you're also paying for the technology and all that kind of stuff. So I would say that the battery, yeah, I would definitely recommend, and something I'm definitely going to show my friends and let them try out, and maybe they'll buy it as well. And now there are other designs, but as I said before, I just wasn't a big fan of any of those, so I kind of stuck with this one. But I just definitely, I wish I could say that these were better, but they're just not. They're just, as I said, this flavor in particular isn't for me. Their other one, the, what is it, the red something, also just a flavor that I strongly disliked. I don't think either one of them taste remotely like an actual cigarette, in my opinion. And I smoke just about every brand out there. So, personally, I don't think that this really resembles a real good tobacco at all. As I said, it kind of tastes like a stale tobacco, so that one definitely not for me. Now, I haven't tried Congress, and I haven't tried their fruit flavors, but I feel like there's so many companies out there that I feel do these types of things better, that why not just stay away from their cartridges altogether. Now, obviously, if you're buying a starter kit or something like that, it's going to come with them. So, I would say if you've never used a V2 product and you want to check it out, I would say maybe just get the battery and a USB charger and use the cartridges that you already have from other things. Try that and see how you like that. I really don't see any reason to buy any of the V2 cartridges or any of that, because I just, like I said, so far the flavors I think are just terrible, and as you can see, the cartridges don't really work that well anyway. I mean, this Halo low resistance cartridge worked much better. I'd say, what, probably 3 times the amount of vapor, and definitely better flavor because I'm filling it up with the e-juice that I want to fill it up with. Oh, that's the other thing I should mention too. I can't figure out a way to actually refill these. I have one that I vaped all the way out and tried to refill it as I normally would my cartridges, you know, the method of filling up one of these, maybe one of the bigger ones, and just taking this and just slowly kind of pressing it down into the liquid. Everything just shot right out of the top, and I don't know how that happened, but as far as I can see, there's not a way to actually refill it. And they don't sell blanks of these cartridges as far as I can see on their website. So I'm guessing that these are probably the first ones that they've had that are not ever meant to be refilled, and there is no way to actually refill them. Therefore, if you did decide that these were for you, just know that you're going to be paying a lot of money, and you're not going to be able to reuse these. So once they're done, they're done. Now, somebody may at some point figure out how to do it, which would be awesome. I would definitely be interested in that, because I kind of feel like maybe part of it's their e-juice. Maybe if I could fill it up with my own e-juice, I'd have a little bit better experience. But as it stands right now, I just can't stand their flavors, and their cartridges aren't working as well as I think they should. So I don't know what it is about cartridges at this point. You know, I almost feel like I just need to just buy blanks and not worry about anybody else's pre-fills, because pre-fills are just, for me, just failing left and right, which is kind of sad. So anyway, those are my opinions on this device. So hopefully you found this informative. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. If you've bought one of these and you really like it or you really hate it, let me know that too. If you find out how to refill one of these, let me know, because I'm definitely interested in that. And thank you for watching, and have a good night.